In today's lecture we see this one more type of the integral equation, that is singular integral equation and problem solving. First we see the singular integral equation. Singular integral equation. We see the definition. And integral equation is of first kind, that is f of x is equal to lambda integration from alpha of x to beta of x k of x t into u of t dt, or second kind, u of x is equal to f of x plus lambda integration from alpha of x to beta of x k of x t into u of t dt is called singular integral equation. If first upper limit of integration and integration is infinite, or second lower limit of an integration is infinite, then third, or if both the limit of integration are infinite, then fourth condition is, or if the kernel k of x t becomes infinite at one or more points in the domain of integration, that is the given integral equation is called singular integral equation if the given integral equation satisfies one of these conditions. First condition is either upper limit of integration is infinite or either lower limit of integration is infinite. Then next condition is either both of the limits of integration are infinite, and fourth one is the kernel k of xt of the given integral equation becomes infinite the domain of this integration. Then the integral equation is said to be an singular integral equation. Then we see the example on these four conditions. On condition first example, u of x is equal to 1 plus 3x plus integration from 0 to infinity 1 minus x into u of t dt. Here the upper limit of integration is infinite. Therefore, the given integral equation is of the type singular integral equation. Then on condition second, example u of x is equal to x square plus integration from minus infinity to 0 cos of x plus t into u of t dt. Here upper limit, that is minus infinity. Therefore, given integral equation is again the singular integral equation. Then on condition third, the example, that is u of x is equal to 1 plus x plus integration plus 3 integration from minus infinity to infinity sine of x plus t into u of t dt. Here both of the limits of integration are infinite. Therefore, again the given integral equation is the singular integral equation. Then on condition 4, we see the example, that is u of x is equal to 1 minus 2 root x minus integration from 0 to x 1 divided by square root of x minus t into u of t dt. Here the limits are 0 and x, that is not infinite, but if we observe the kernel of this integration, that is k of x t is equal to 1 divided by square root of x minus t. This kernel at t tends to x becomes infinite. Therefore, given integral equation is the singular integral equation. Then these are all the types of the integral equation. We see the types, that is freedom integral equation, then Volterra integral equation, and next one is the singular integral equation. In that again we see the subtypes, that is freedom integral equation of first kind, freedom integral equation of second kind. Next we see the some examples, the Volterra and freedom integral equation and its properties. Classify the integral equation. Classify the following integral equation as freedom or Volterra and linear or non-linear and homogeneous or non-homogeneous. You see the first example, u of x is equal to x minus 1 by 6 into x cube plus integration from 0 to x minus t into u of t dt. Here if we compare this equation, integral equation, with the standard form, then that is standard form is u of x is equal to f of x plus lambda integration from alpha of x to beta of x k of x t into u of t dt. This is the standard form. If we compare given integral equation with this standard form, then we get f of x is equal to x minus 1 by 6 into x cube. Then alpha of x and beta of x, that is limits are alpha of x will be 0 comma beta of x will be x, and the kernel k of xt is equal to x minus t. Then we have to differentiate the given integral equation in the type Volterra or freedom. We know that for freedom integral equation, the limits are both the limits are constant, and in Volterra integral equation, upper limit is variable and lower limit is constant. Then if we observe here, the lower limit alpha of x, that is will be 0, that is constant, and upper limit, that is beta of x, will be x, that is variable. Therefore, given integral equation is of the type Volterra integral equation. Then next we check either the given integral equation is the linear or non-linear. For that we have to check the unknown function, power of the unknown function. Here if we observe the unknown function in given integral equation, that is u of x, which is occurs linearly outside of the integral sign and also inside of the integral sign, is of power 1, that is linear. Therefore, given integral equation is the linear integral equation. Then next we have to check either it is homogeneous or non-homogeneous. We know that the homogeneous condition and non-homogeneous condition, if the given function f of x is present in given integral equation, then we say that the integral equation is of non-homogeneous, and if function f of x is absent, then we say that it is the homogeneous integral equation. Here function f of x will be x minus 1 by 6 into x cube is present. Therefore, given integral equation is the non-homogeneous. In this way, we get the given integral equation, that is given integral equation is non-homogeneous linear Volterra integral equation. Then we see the next example. Second, u dash of x is equal to 1 minus 1 by 3 into x cube plus integration from 0 to x t into u of t dt with initial condition u of 0 is equal to 0. Then again, if we observe the given integral equation, here the function u of x is occurs in the form of ordinary derivative. Therefore, we know that if the unknown function occurs in the form of ordinary derivative outside of the integral equation, then given integral equation is integro differential equation. That is, the unknown function u of x occurs outside of the integral sign, then we say that the integral equation is of the type integro differential equation. Then we have to check either it is Friedel or Volterra, then linear, non-linear, and homogeneous or non-homogeneous. Here if we observe, the limits are alpha of x is equal to 0 and beta of x is equal to x, that is lower limit is 0 and upper limit is variable, that is lower limit is constant and upper limit is variable. Therefore, given integral equation is Volterra integral equation. Then for linearity, we check the power of the unknown function. Here unknown function u of t occurs linearly, that is of power 1 under the integral sign and also outside of the integral sign it is power 1. Therefore, it is linear. Then the function f of x is equal to here 1 minus 1 by 3 into x cube is present. Therefore, given integral equation is non-homogeneous integral equation. That is, the given integral equation is non-homogeneous linear Volterra integral differential equation. Then next example. Third, u of x is equal to 1 by 2 plus x minus integration from 0 to 1 x minus t into u raised to 2t dt. Again, if we compare this given integral equation with the standard form, that is u of x is equal to f of x plus lambda integration from alpha of x to beta of x k of x t into u of t dt. Then by comparing these equations, we get f of x is equal to 1 divided by 2 plus x. Then k of xt will be is equal to x minus t, and limits are alpha of x is equal to 0 and beta of x is equal to 1. And if we observe the eigenvalue, here lambda is equal to minus 1. Then first we have to check either it is Volterra or Friedel integral equation. Then if we check the limits, here both the limits are constant, that is 0 and 1. Therefore, given integral equation is of the type Friedel integral equation. Then next again we check the linearity or the unknown function. If we observe the integral equation, here the unknown function u of x occurs linearly outside of the integral sign, but inside of the integral sign, here the unknown function u of x is of power 2, that is non-linear. Therefore, given integral equation is the non-linear. Then here function f of x is equal to 1 by 2 plus x, that is present. Therefore, it is non-homogeneous integral equation. That is, given integral equation is non-homogeneous, non-linear Friedel integral equation is of second kind, because u of x, that is unknown function, occurs under the integral sign also and outside of the integral sign. Then the next example. U of x is equal to 1 plus integration from 0 to x t into u of t dt plus integration from 0 to pi sine x plus t into u of t dt. Again, here if we observe the given integral equation, then in this integral equation we see the two integrations, that is first integration from 0 to x and second integration from 0 to pi. First integration is from 0 to x, that is lower limit is constant and upper limit is variable. Therefore, it is of the type Volterra And here if we observe the second integration, then its limits are 0 and pi, that is constant, therefore is of the type Friedel. That is, the given integral equation is the combination of Volterra and Friedel integral equation. Therefore it is the Volterra Friedel integral equation. Then next we check the linearity. Again, the unknown function u of x occurs linearly under the integral sign and outside of the integral sign. Therefore it is the linear integral equation. Then we check the homogeneity. Here function f of x is equal to 1 is present, therefore given integral equation is the non-homogeneous. That is, integral equation is non-homogeneous linear Volterra Friedel integral equation. Then next example is u of x is equal to x plus integration from 0 to 1 x t into u of t dt. Again, if we observe the limits in this given integral equation, limits are alpha of x is equal to 0 and beta of x is equal to 1. That is, limits are constant. Therefore, given integral equation is of the type Friedel integral equation. Then the unknown function u of x again occurs linearly, therefore it is the linear integral equation, and function f of x is equal to x is present, therefore it is the non-homogeneous integral equation. That is non-homogeneous linear Friedel integral equation. Then we see the next example. U of x is equal to 1 plus x divided by 4 integration from 0 to 1 divided by x plus t into 1 divided by u of t dt. We can write this integral equation as u of x is equal to 1 plus 1 divided by 4 into x integration from 0 to 1 divided by x plus t into u raised to minus 1 of t dt. Here limits are constant, therefore it is Friedel integral equation. And then next, the unknown function u of x occurs linearly outside of the integral equation, but inside of the integral equation the unknown function u of x is a non-linear, therefore it is non-linear, and function f of x will be equal to 1, therefore given integral equation is of the type non-homogeneous non-linear Friedel integral equation. In this way, we can easily check that either the given integral equation is Friedel or Volterra, linear or non-linear, and homogeneous or non-homogeneous, and also we check the given integral equation is a integral differential equation or not. Then next we see the solution of an integral equation. Solution of an integral equation we know that what is the solution of any equation. If the given function satisfies the given equation, then we say that that is the solution of the given equation. Then in similar manner, the solution of an integral equation is the unknown function, that is solution of an integral equation or integral differential equation is a function u of x such that it satisfies the given integral equation. That is, we have to only check that if the given unknown function satisfies the given integral equation or not. If the given function satisfies the given integral equation, then we say that it is the solution, and if not, then we say that it is not the solution. Then we see some examples. First, show that u of x is equal to e raised to x is a solution of the Volterra equation u of x is equal to 1 plus integration from 0 to x in u of t dt. We have to check that the given function u of x is equal to e raised to x is either solution of this Volterra equation or not. Then we write the given integral equation u of x is equal to 1 plus integration from 0 to x u of t dt and take it as equation number 1. Then u of x is equal to, given that e raised to x, if we change the variable, that is t, instead of x we get u of t is equal to e raised to t. Then we consider the RHS of given equation 1. RHS will be equal to 1 plus integration from 0 to x into u of t dt. Then we put the value of u of t is e raised to t in this RHS, that is 1 plus integration from 0 to x u of t will be e raised to t dt, and take the simple integration, that is equal to 1 plus integration. If we take the integration of e raised to t, we get integration of e raised to t will be e raised to t from 0 to x. Then if we put the limits, we get 1 plus upper limit is x, that is we get e raised to x, lower limit is 0 minus e raised to 0, that is equal to 1 plus e raised to x will be as it is e raised to x, e raised to 0 will be 1, that is minus 1 plus 1 minus 1 gets cancelled, is equal to we get e raised to x, and that is the given u of x, that is equal to LHS. Here u of x is equal to e raised to x is satisfies the given integral equation, therefore u of x is equal to e raised to x. U of x is equal to e raised to x is a solution of given Volterra integral equation. Then next example, show that u of x is equal to x is a solution of the freedom integral equation is u of x is equal to 5 divided by 6 into x minus 1 by 9 plus 1 by 3 integration from 0 to 1 x plus t into u of t dt. Again here we have to check u of x is equal to x is a solution or not. Then first we rewrite the given integral equation, that is u of x is equal to 5 divided by 6 into x minus 1 divided by 9 plus 1 divided by 3 integration from 0 to 1 x plus t into u of t dt. Take it as equation number 1. Then given that u of x will be equal to x, again if we change the variable, that is take t, then u of t is equal to, we get t. Then similarly we consider the RHS. RHS will be equal to of equation, RHS of equation 1, RHS is equal to 5 divided by 6 into x minus 1 divided by 9 plus 1 divided by 3 integration from 0 to 1 x plus t into u of t dt. Then we put value of u of t will be t, that is equal to 5 divided by 6 into x minus 1 divided by 9 plus 1 divided by 3 integration from 0 to 1 x plus t as it is. U of t will be t into dt. That is equal to 5 divided by 6 into x minus 1 divided by 9 plus 1 divided by 3. Then we multiply this t inside the bracket, that is integration from 0 to 1 x t plus t square into u of t, into dt. That is equal to 5 divided by 6 into x minus 1 by 9 plus, if we separate this integration we get 1 divided by 3. Also this x is a constant with respect to t, therefore we take outside from the integration. Then we get here 1 divided by 3 into x integration from 0 to 1 in integration t dt plus 1 by 3 integration from 0 to 1 t square into dt. Then we take the integration, that is equal to 5 divided by 6 into x minus 1 divided by 9 plus 1 by 3 into x. Integration of t will be t square divided by 2 from 0 to 1 plus 1 divided by 3. Integration of t square will be t cube divided by 3 from 0 to 1. That is equal to 5 divided by 6 into x minus 1 by 9 plus 1 divided by 3 into x. Then we put the limits. Upper limit is 1 and lower limit is 0. That is 1 square is 1, that is 1 divided by 2 minus 0 square will be 0, 0 divided by 2 plus 1 divided by 3. Here 1 divided by 3, 1 cube is 1, therefore 1 divided by 3 minus 0 cube is 0 divided by 3. Then that is equal to 5 divided by 6 into x minus 1 divided by 9 plus 1 divided by 3 into x into 1 divided by 2. This will be 0 plus similarly 1 by 3 into 1 by 3. This will be 0. That is equal to 5 divided by 6 into x minus 1 divided by 9 plus this will be 3 into 2 will be 6, that is 1 divided by 6 into x plus 1 divided by 9, that is equal to this 5 divided by 6 into x plus 1 divided by 6 into x will be 5 minus 5 plus 1 will be 6 divided by 6 x, and this minus 1 by 9 plus 1 by 9 gets cancelled. Here remaining only 6 divided by 6 into x, and that is equal to 6 gets cancelled, is equal to we get x, and that is equal to u of x, that is equal to LHS. Therefore u of x is equal to x is a solution of given integral equation. Then next example is in this way we can easily check that either the given function is a solution of given integral equation or not. We have to only put the value of the given integral value of the given function in the given integral equation and check LHS is equal to RHS. We see the next example. Show that, third example, show that u of x is equal to x is a solution of freedom integral differential equation. Equation is u dash of x is equal to 2 divided by 3 plus integration from 0 to 1 t into u of t dt. We take given equation as equation number 1. Here u of x will be equal to x. Then again if we change the variable we get u of t is equal to t. We have to given here this is the freedom integral differential equation. Then we consider the RHS. Similarly we consider the RHS of equation 1. RHS is equal to 2 divided by 3 plus integration from 0 to 1 t into u of t dt. Then we put the value of u of t, that is equal to 2 divided by 3 plus integration from 0 to 1, t will be as it is, u of t will be t, that is t into t dt is equal to is equal to 2 divided by 3 plus integration from 0 to 1 t into t will be t square dt is equal to 2 divided by 3 plus if we take the integration of t square will be t cube divided by 3 from 0 to 1 is equal to 2 divided by 3. Then by putting limits we get 1 cube will be 1, that is 1 divided by 3 minus 0 divided by 3 which is equal to 2 divided by 3 plus 1 divided by 3. That is equal to 2 plus 1, that is 3 divided by 3, 3 gets cancelled, is equal to we get 1, that is equal to 1, and given function is u of x is equal to x. Here LHS of the given equation is u dash of x. If we take the derivative of this function, that is first derivative u dash of x is equal to, we get 1, u dash of x is equal to 1, therefore this equal to 1 is equal to, we can write u dash of x, that is equal to LHS, that is u of x is equal to x is a solution of an given integral freedom differential equation. Then next example, u of x is equal to f of x minus 1 plus integration from 0 to pi by 2 t into u of t dt, where u of x is equal to sin x is a solution of given integral equation then find function f of x. Here we have to given that u of x is equal to sin x is the solution of the given integral equation. Then to find the function f of x, we rewrite the given equation, that is u of x is equal to f of x minus 1 plus integration from 0 to pi by 2 t into u of t dt. We have to given that u of x is equal to sin x, then u of t is equal to, we get sin t. If we put this value in given equation, because u of x is equal to sin x is the solution, that is this satisfies the given equation, therefore sin x is equal to, we get f of x will be unknown, therefore f of x minus 1 plus integration from 0 to pi by 2, t will be as it is, u of t will be into sin t dt, that is equal to f of x minus 1 plus, if we take the integration of t into sin t by using light rule, then t will be as it is, integration of sin t dt minus integration of sin t dt and into dt by dt is equal to f of x minus 1 plus, we take the integration plus t, integration of sin t will be minus cos t, then minus integration of sin t will be again minus cos of t, dt by dt will be 1 into dt, that is equal to f of x minus 1 plus integrate minus t cos t minus minus will be plus, integration of cos t will be sin t. This here integration is complete, therefore we write the limits from 0 to pi by 2. Then we put the limits f of x minus 1 plus if we put the limits minus pi by 2 cos pi by 2, then by putting lower limit minus minus will be plus, then 0 into cos 0, sorry, by putting limits minus pi by 2 cos pi by 2 plus sin pi by 2. Here minus minus will get plus 0 cos 0, then minus sin 0. That is equal to f of x minus 1. Then here cos pi by 2 will be 0, that is minus pi by 2 into 0, plus sin pi by 2 will be 1 plus 1. Then this term will be 0 into cos 0 will be 0 minus 0. That is equal to f of x minus 1 in bracket this 0 plus 1, next terms are 0, f of x minus 1, sorry, here sign is missing, minus f of x minus 1 plus, then minus 1, here plus sign is missing, minus 1 plus 1, then minus 1 plus 1 gets cancelled. Here in LHS sin x, that is sin x is equal to f of x. Then we get the function f of x will be equal to sin x. That is, in this way, if we have to given that the function u of x is the solution of the given integral equation, then we can find any unknown in the given integral equation, that is unknown function, that is function u of x, parameter, the parameter that is eigenvalue of the given integral equation. Thank you.